Sides of fabric. You must have realized by now that identifying the right side and wrong side of a fabric is very important before you start ironing the fabric. At the end of the session, you will be able to identify right side and wrong side of a fabric. Let us now see how to identify the right side and wrong side of a given fabric. Color is a distinctive factor from which we can easily make out the sides of a given fabric. The right side will be clear and bright in color, while the wrong side is dull. However, it is only some fabrics that color can help us in deciding the sides of a fabric. Analyzing the selvage of your fabric is another way of identifying the sides of a fabric. Check the selvage of your fabric. It may have tiny holes indented along the edge. If so, run your finger along each side to identify which side of the fabric you may be looking at. If the holes are raised, then that indicates the right side. If the holes are flat or sunk into the selvage, this indicates the wrong side. You can also know the sides of a fabric by running your hand over the fabric. On some fabrics, you won't have a selvage, nor will the color contrast be of any significant difference. If this is the case, run your fingers across each side of the fabric. The right side should have a smoother, less grained feel than the wrong side. As with the example of feeling your fabric, the look is also a great indicator of which side is which. The right sides of fabric should look more luxurious than the wrong side. Yet another way of learning the sides of a fabric is from the fabric markings. If your fabric has a print or marking from the manufacturer along the selvage or selvage edge, this will normally indicate the right side. If you're still struggling to tell the difference, simply choose one side to work with and stick with it. With that, we've come to the end of the session. Let's recall what we have learned in the session. In some fabrics, the right side will be clear and bright in color, while the wrong side will be dull. Raised holes on the selvage indicate the right side of a fabric. Right side of some fabrics has a smoother, less grained feel than the wrong side. In some other fabrics, the right sides of fabric look more luxurious than the wrong side. A print or marking from the manufacturer along the selvage or the selvage edge will normally indicate the right side. You have now learned how to identify the sides of a fabric. Take our next session to learn how to cut fabric using shears.